Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please take a second to click the like button if you like this video or hit the thumbs down if you don't. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get PTCGO code cards. Are you looking to complete your Pokemon card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. Please use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so you can get a 5% discount. Help yourself out with the discount, and thank you for helping support the content I create in this channel and for helping out PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Galarian DARMANITAN from the Fusion Strike set. Galarian DARMANITAN is a stage 1 Pokemon with 130 HP, 2 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to metal. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Powder Snow. For 1 water and 1 colorless energy, it will deal 30 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. This is a nice disruptive move which may actually help you stall as long as your opponent's active Pokemon remains asleep. Its second attack is Daruma Headbutt. For 2 water and 1 colorless energy, it will deal 130 damage. However, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack can be used for just a single water energy. And this attack will be the selling point for this Pokemon because 130 damage for 1 energy is actually better than you think. This is basically the same attack mechanic as this Bolton. To deal the damage counter on Darmanitan, I will be using a full set of the Old Cemetery Stadium. Whenever either player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their non-psychic Pokemon, that Pokemon will receive 2 damage counters. Darmanitan's 130 damage output may seem underwhelming, but we can actually make it work. First, we're also teaming up with another single energy attacker, Barraskewda. More for its targeted skewer attack for just 1 water energy. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter on that Pokemon, which basically means that this attack will deal double the damage counters on its target. So with an initial 130 damage dealt by Darmanitan, Barraskewda will deal 260 damage for a total of 390 damage, which pretty much knocks out any Pokemon in the game. Additionally, I also have 2 copies of this Inteleon with a quick shooting ability. Once per turn, you can deal 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. This will help increase damage to our opponent's Pokemon, which helps out Darmanitan greatly. And I also included the Drizzile and the Inteleon with the Shady Dealings ability. If you evolve into Drizzile or Inteleon from your hand, you can search your deck for 1 or 2 trainer cards. And remember, since this build uses water energies, you can also attack with the Inteleons. This one can attack with Waterfall for 70 damage, and this one can attack with Aqua Bullet for 120 damage to the active and 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench. So be sure to use these to your advantage. And I also have the Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability, which will help us draw into more cards. As for the other cards, I have 2 copies of the Capacious Bucket. This will help you search your deck for up to 2 water energies. And this is important because we only have 7 water energies in the deck. Next are Evolution Incense, Level Ball, Quick Ball, Scoop Up Net, and Switch. And as for my supporters, I have Boss's Orders, Marnie, Professor's Research, and Raihan, because Darmanitan can get knocked out easily. With Raihan, if one of our Pokemon was knocked out on our opponent's last turn, you can attach a basic energy from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and then you can search your deck for any 1 card. And finally, I have 1 copy of Nessa. This is great for recovery. You can put up to 4 in any combination of water Pokemon and water energy from your discard pile into your hand. As for my other energies, I added 1 copy of Wash Energy, which prevents effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon to the water Pokemon this is attached to. And that's pretty much it. The deck list will be in the description below. But enough talk, let's see if we can win some games with Galarian DARMANITAN. Okay, I'm gonna go first. I like going first with this build. It does take 2 turns for Darmanitan to evolve, and you can actually start attacking with Darmanitan as early as turn 2 for 130 damage for 1 energy. So we are up against a Mew VMAX build. Okay. Alright, so we get 2 level balls, so I can probably set up 1 Sabo, and I'm thinking 1 Galarian Darumaka here so that we can evolve next turn. And I could thin out my hand. Let me just attach an energy on Sabo, and I'm just gonna Gourmandize. And we get 2 more energies, so that's great. So Mew VMAX. Yeah, I think we can win this. It is winnable. And they also use Old Cemetery. I don't know if they know this, but we will actually use that to our advantage. They're gonna boss our Darumaka. That's fine. Since they used boss, now they cannot use Alessa's Sparkle, because they can actually attack during this turn, but they're not going to. But that's okay. That gives us an opportunity to attack this Mew V for 130 damage. I'm just gonna evolve and use Shady Dealings. And let's see. Probably gonna get, let me get a Quick Ball. And then what I could do is just use that, discard one of the energies. That's a good setup too for right hand, because you do need an energy on the discard pile. I'll probably just get another Darumaka here. It's good to have two attackers set up on your board, because once they knock it out, they knock one out, you have another. So I'm gonna evolve into Darmanitan, put an energy, and I'm gonna use Marnie. So having that old cemetery again puts 2 damage counters on Darmanitan, which now you can attack for just 1 energy. Daruma Headbutt for 130 damage against this Mew V. So, I mean, you know what, at first glance it might seem like a very underwhelming attack, 130, but 130 actually is a sweet spot for single prize, even if you're against single prize Pokemon. A lot of average HP for stage 1s or even basic Pokemon are 130 HP. So Galarian Darmanitan does hit 430 damage, which is pretty much KOs a lot of basics or even stage 1 Pokemon, single prizers. So I think if you're using this on a casual game, it's pretty good. But given that the format has a lot of VMAXs, Galarian Darmanitan will need help, and so that's why I think the inclusion of Barraskewda and also in the Inteleon make it a lot more usable, even against higher tier builds. So far we're ahead in this game. They're gonna use Escape Rope. Let's see, I can put Darumaka in the active. I don't think they're attacking yet. Okay, they're gonna continue to use their Fusion Strike system, and that's gonna be it. They're stuck, but we have another Darmanitan to evolve into, attach an energy, put 2 damage counters, and I'm gonna evolve into a Quick Shooting, use my Marnie, and we get more level balls. All right, we can either set up more Darmanitans or even the Inteleon line. But for now, I think I'll just get another Sobble, and then let me get Barraskewda. That's gonna be very useful. We can knock out that Mew in the bench if we need to. For the meantime, I'm gonna start to weaken the other Mew V and attack this active for 130 damage. So Genesect V has 2 retreat costs. They need to have air balloons. Mew VMAX has free retreats, Mew V and Mew VMAX, but Genesect V has 2 retreat costs, and I found that to be a good weakness against a Mew VMAX build. So it's ideal that if you build a Mew VMAX, you actually need to have air balloons to easily get your Genesect V out of the active. So like in this case, that actually traps them, and if they can't retreat their Genesect V, that's an easy 2 prize against the Mew VMAX build. So Mew VMAX has proven itself to be a tier 1 deck. It's very fast, very powerful. So it's a good typing against Urshifu. So alright, they're gonna pass. They have a fully evolved Mew VMAX on their bench, but they can't attack with it yet. So we're gonna use this to our advantage, and then we can get 2 prize with this Genesect V. We evolve this one, use Shady Dealings. Then I could probably let's see, I could use a boss's order probably. Evolution Incense would be good too to get my Barraskewda. But let me get boss's orders because we might need it to combo with our Barraskewda. Let me just put another damage counter on this Mew. We can just continue to chip away at it. If they don't move it or evolve into it, we can just knock it out easily. Meantime, I'm gonna evolve into Barraskewda so we have it ready to attack. I'm just gonna get 2 prizes with this Zacian V. So 2 prizes, we get the Wash Energy, nice. So we have an energy to power up our Barraskewda. So now their Mew V on the bench is two quick shootings away from getting knocked out. So all we have to do is chip away at it, and then we can get 2 prizes. And then we have a boss ready to go too. So we are in control here. So at first glance, again, Darmanitan might seem weak, but the damage counter that you deal... Oh, there's a Mew VMAX. Wow. So if they evolve into that, we can actually get an easy 3 prize. Even if they knock out our active with their Mew VMAX in the active, all we have to do is switch our Barraskewda and knock out the one in the bench and get 3 prizes for that. We don't even need to boss anyone. This is this is crazy. So again, the combination between these two. Yeah, let me just put Barraskewda because I could attack the active with another Darmanitan, but I think I'm just gonna do that. Let's see. I could use quick shooting for now. Oh no, I forgot. I keep forgetting that that energy prevents abilities. So okay, that was wasted. But that's okay. I'll just use targeted skewer, and that will knock out their Mew. And we're hitting 280 damage, more than enough to knock it out. And that will get us 3 prizes. Insane. Barraskewda is actually really powerful. It technically triples the damage counter. It triples the damage counter already on your opponent. So if your opponent has 100 damage, it triples that. So it's like it makes it so that your opponent has 300 damage. They're gonna knock out Barraskewda, that's fine. But actually, all we need is 1 more prize, so I'll just boss this and finish it off with Daruma Headbutt, winning us the game against a Mew VMAX. Insane. Insane. Okay, moving on to our next match. Alright, we're up against a dark type deck, I suppose. And we're gonna start off with a Sabo. No, it's not a dark type at all. Okay, it is a purple type. We are up against Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Shadow Rider, I think this is winnable as well. The good thing about the combination between Darmanitan and Barraskewda is that you have a bench hitter, and Darmanitan is just a great way to set up for that big damage. I'm just gonna Gormandize here. We get a switch. So there was no way for us to lessen our hand size, so I'm just gonna go with it. I can use my Shady Dealings on the next turn. I could get Marnie so that we can get better cards on our hand. The Shadow Rider Calyrex V can attack, and that actually could prevent us from using the old cemetery, which we will actually need to put that damage counter on Darmanitan. They're also using Alcremie. So this is the classic build for the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. But to be honest with you, they don't really need that much to build up and to knock out our Pokemon. But we'll see how much our opponent knows about our build. Just gonna get a level ball, and I'm just gonna set up another Sobble, which we could use. Start energizing my Inteleon line, because we could use that to attack. And then I'll get a Darmanitan. And then I could Gormandize for 2. We have Old Cemetery, but we won't be able to use it if they attack with the first attack again. But they're gonna evolve into Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX already, but they only have 1 energy attached to it, so they won't be able to attack. Instead, they're gonna energize their Alcremie. Okay, Alcremie VMAX. Yeah, at first glance, probably underestimating our build here. Like, okay, they're weak anyways, they won't be able to knock us out. So, I'm just gonna start building up my VMAX. Either that, or they just won't be, they're just not able to set up any more basics on their bench. Because usually, by this time, a lot of Shadow Rider Calyrex V are already on the bench. But alright, they're not gonna be able to attack, that's fine. And we can actually play our Old Cemetery. For the meantime, I'm gonna use Shady Dealings here. We get to pick 2 trainer cards from the deck. And Level Ball is good. And then probably use Quick Ball. So I'll get these 2. I could set up 2 more basics on the bench. Let me use their Stadium to get my energy, and then discard it again with Quick Ball and set up my second Attacker. My second Darmanitan line. And then with the Level Ball, I could set up my Barraskewda, which we will be able to use to hit the bench. And then use our Stadium so that we can put damage counter on Darmanitan. And then I can start attacking. So I'll just switch into Darmanitan in the active. And I'm gonna Daruma Headbutt for 130 damage. As of right now, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, if they attach another energy on Calyrex, they will be able to knock out our Darmanitan. Darmanitan is actually pretty weak in terms of survivability. It only has 110 HP at all times, because when we use this combo with the Old Cemetery, and then attach an energy, it deals 2 damage counters. So 110 HP is really bad. It's really bad, to be honest. Okay, they're gonna boss our Sobble. Okay. Yeah, so survivability of this build is really terrible. That's why going against Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX or any good bench hitters is really bad matchup for us. But for the most part, it does win a lot of games. I was surprised to actually be, to keep winning with this build. Very simple, very straightforward, but the fact that you can attack for just 1 energy actually makes it really good, because the setup is so quick. As long as you have the Darumaka, the basics on the bench, you can set up another Darmanitan really easily. So it makes it really quick. It makes it really fast to attack. So let's say you're against Charizard. You can easily win against the Charizard matchup. They're not gonna attack again, so that's fine. Let's evolve into another Darmanitan. And we ourselves are stuck, so I'm just gonna pass. We don't have energy to put on Sable, so we can retreat with it. We don't have Switch or Scoop Up Net, so just probably gonna wait for them to knock out our Sable. Yeah, wasting the boss's orders not gonna be good, so passing was the only option I think we could do. Alright, they're building up another Shadow Rider Calyrex V on their bench. But at least we already have this one in the active set up. If they retreat with it, especially if they have Air Balloon on it, we could just knock it out with Barraskewda. And yeah, you know what? Against VMAX builds, this Darmanitan is actually really good because all you need to do is knock out 2 VMAX, get 3 prizes for each of them, and then you can win just knocking out 2 Pokemon. So having a 1 prize build is really good because it forces your opponent to literally knock out 6 Pokemon for them to win, and you get a lot of chance to recover during that time. So our opponent's gonna get their first prize by knocking out our Sable. That's okay, and I actually appreciate the fact that they used Marnie on us because now we have a lot more options with the cards that we have. So I'll just put Darmanitan in the active. I'm going to use Capacious Bucket to get 2 energies, and I'm gonna attach an energy on Darmanitan on the bench, and I'm just gonna attack for another 130 damage. Yeah, because if for any reason they remove our Stadium, we already have damage on our bench Darmanitan, so it's ready to attack. So now their Calyrex is within knockout range. If they decide to retreat with it, we can snipe it with our Barraskewda easily for just 1 energy. And the only other attacker they have is Alcremie, but when they attack with it, they actually lose a lot of their energies, so that's alright with me. It actually puts them in a very awkward position when they discard all those energies. Okay, they also have Pumpkaboo, which removes stadiums, but that's fine. We also have a backup Old Cemetery, but we won't actually need it right now because both our Darmanitans are all powered up, and they're just gonna use Max Geist. So we get a prize. We get 3 prizes by knocking out this Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX with our Darmanitan. Okay, all we need to do is set up another one. We get Raihan. It's actually really good. Let me use Level Ball and get a Drizzile. We can use its Shady Dealings. Then we can easily set up another Darumaka. Let me see. Let me actually get Nessa. That way we can just recover these 2. That will put all these Pokemon. We can set up a Darumaka with it. Use the Old Cemetery. Put 2 damage counter on this Darumaka. So now it's ready to go for the next turn. So let's just knock out this Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. So to get our 3 prizes. That's not bad, man. It did take 3 turns to knock it out, but you know what? That's fine. So if you look at the prize exchange right now, they have 2 prizes. They got 2 prizes, while we got 3 in return. So it does make your opponent think how they're gonna play out their attacks, because again, they have to knock out 6 Pokemon to win this game. So for us, even if they knock out our active, all we have to do is use our other Darmanitan, which is all ready to go, and just attack Alcremie for 130 damage and set it up for a knockout. So they're gonna probably knock out our Darmanitan. We have an energy on the discard pile, so we can use Raihan after they do that, and go from there. Oh, you know what? They used the attack to just energize their Pokemon. Alright. Well, that keeps our active alive, which is good. I'll just evolve into Inteleon, and then I'll just evolve into Darmanitan here, and I'll just attack. Daruma Headbutt for 130 damage against this Alcremie VMAX. So all we have to do now is target it with Barraskewda in the bench. But if not, we can just continue to hit it with Darmanitan. So that's the game plan. Oh, you know what? I forgot to use the quick shooting. I guess that's fine. That is okay. They're gonna use Professor's Research. That's fine. You know, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX has been so hyped ever since it came out. But yeah, I mean, it made tier 1 for some time, but you know what? For me, I don't think it's that good. The setup is just too slow, and it's not as consistent as some would like it to be. It is a good matchup against the Urshifus, but now with the Dark Single Strike Pokemon, it just balances it out, where, you know, the Urshifu can have a good matchup against the Shadow Rider Calyrex. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's a good deck, but for me, it's not that great. They're gonna knock out our Darmanitan, so let me put this our backup Darmanitan in the active. I'm gonna fully energize my Inteleon so we can attack with it, and I'll just get a Darumaka, and so we can set up another one, right? I'll use quick shooting here, just continue to weaken this Alcremie VMAX, and just keep hacking away at it, you know. Daruma Headbutt for another 130 damage. Now it has 280 damage. Even if they decide to retreat with it, which they do, we have Barraskewda all set up. Just knock it out on the next turn. They have 3 prizes to go. We have 3 prizes to go, but we can easily attain that with just 1 attack. So yeah, there's the hype. The Calyrex VMAX hype is no longer there. You know, being beaten by a Galarian DARMANITAN, a single prize Pokemon, is such a it's not good. It's not a good deck. I mean, it's good against certain matchups, I guess. I mean, it's true for any deck. You gotta think of it that way, I guess. Against Rapid Striker Shifu VMAX, my build is not great. You know, this Darmanitan build is just gonna lose really easily against Rapid Strike or Shifu VMAX. But other than that, you know what? We are gonna win this game with Barraskewda. The Darmanitan Barraskewda combo is so good. Just gonna use Targeted Cure and hit for 560 damage against Alcremie VMAX. Insane, insane. Getting us our last 3 prizes. So good game. Moving on to the next match, we have 3 basic Pokemon to start. I'm gonna put a Darumaka in the active and Sobble on the bench. I'm gonna save Barraskewda, and we're up against a Metal type build. Zacian, if I had to guess. They mulligan 3 times, and I probably just put Barraskewda. That's fine. They're gonna start off with a Crobat V, dude. That is the worst thing that can happen. And I'm just gonna set up another Sobble. I could save the level ball so I can get Drizzile on my next turn. I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna save that energy because once I use Drizzile, I'm gonna get the old Cemetery Stadium, and then we can set up our Darmanitan, which we have the evolution for, and we can start attacking for 130 damage on our next turn. There's the Zacian V, wouldn't you know it? You know, Crobat V is so good. for what it does. However, there are some drawbacks to it. So that's why I like Snorlax so much, because Snorlax, it ends your turn, but it draws you a lot of cards. But you lose one prize if they knock it out. And you can easily get it out of play with the use of Scoop Up Net. Crobat V draws you a lot of cards. It doesn't end your turn, but it's stuck in the game. You have no way to get it out, and you have two prize that is sitting as a liability in your board. So that's why I don't use Crobat as much. So gonna get my old cemetery set up here. Put 2 damage counters on Darumaka. Evolve it into Darmanitan. And let me use Level Ball. Can set up another attacker. Okay, I always have to make sure that Barraskewda is in the deck as well, because it does play a good an important part in the strategy of this game. So again, I'm thinking of putting 2 lines of Barraskewda, but for the meantime, I'm gonna stick with a 1/1 line of Barraskewda for now. But I guess it's up to you. Let me see. I could use my Evolution Incense, or I could just attack. Yeah, I'll just attack. That will put a good amount of damage to this Crobat V, and I could just finish it off with the quick shooting Inteleon bit by bit, and then focus my attacks on their Zacian Vs later on. What makes Old Cemetery good too to this build is that when you're up against a non-psychic type opponent, it actually does put damage counters on their Pokemon each time they attach an energy from their hands. So it actually gives Darmanitan sort of like an extra power to its attack, because you have that initial damage counters against your opponent. So I'm just gonna get another Darmanitan setup here, and then I can start setting up my Drizzile, my Inteleon line I mean, and then I have to get a Capacious Bucket, because this will guarantee me an energy on hand to attach to my Darmanitan, and then I'm just gonna Marnie. I only have 7 energies in this deck, so it does make it difficult to find it. That's why having the Capacious Bucket is very important. So I'm gonna use Quick Shooting and continue to chip away at this Crobat V, and then I'm gonna Daruma Headbutt this Zacian V. So they're not gonna be able to attack this turn unless they have some way to retreat and then put this Zacian V back into the active. But if they don't switch it out, we can knock it out with Darmanitan. However, our hand is looking really terrible right now. We have 2 Darmanitans, but nothing to evolve it from. So, yeah, we're kind of stuck unless they Marnie us. The Cape of Toughness is adding more HP to this Zacian V, but that's okay. It is within knockout range of our Darmanitan. So if they don't knock it out, if they don't knock out our Darmanitan, we can knock out their Zacian. I'm curious what this Stunfisk is. Okay, it's the one with the counter attack. So if you attack it, you get 3 damage counters. There's another one where it discards your energy if you attack it. I'm just going to continue to quick shooting this Crobat V. So our Darmanitan survives. So good thing we get a Marnie from the top deck. So we'll use that. And we get better cards this time. Nice. So we can set up this Sabo. We can get another Inteleon line set up. And then, let's see, I can use Scoop Up Net, but I don't think it's necessary right now. Because it would be nice if we can set up another Darmanitan. No, I think I'm just going to knock out this Zacian V. Get 2 prizes for it. And then go from there. Hopefully we get good cards here. We get a Quick Ball, which is good. And Evolution Incense. So now, They're gonna attack with Zacian V. Again, they won't be able to attack the turn after, but at least we have Inteleon to knock out that Crobat V. And then we get 2 prizes for that. And since Zacian V won't be able to attack, we can actually deal 130 damage. We just need to set up another Darmanitan, which we will be able to with the help of the quick ball that we got from our prizes. Alright, they're attacking for weakness, so Darmanitan receives 400 plus damage, which is crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna put Drizzile in the active. I can scoop it up if I need to. Mew's Evolution Incense. And let's see, I can use some. Let me just use Drizzile, I suppose. Me evolve into Drizzile. And then could get boss. Let's see, we have Darumaka in the bench. I could set up another one, but I think the boss would be good. I think boss would be good, yeah. Because, let's see. Let me quick shooting this Crobat V first. Get our 2 prizes, see what we get here. Alright, cool. Inteleon, nice. And we get another Darumaka, speaking of which. Let me evolve this. I can get 2 trainer cards with it. Get Ordinary Rod, just in case. And then let me get a level ball. Old Cemetery is good too, actually. I'll get this Old Cemetery because we need that to set up our Darmanitan. So let me attach an energy on Inteleon. Put this Stadium. And I'm gonna right hand an energy to this Inteleon. Get Barraskewda. And use this Evolution Incense. Get a Darmanitan. And let's see, should I evolve Barraskewda? I should evolve it because if they Marnie us, I'm gonna lose it. But for now, I'm gonna use Ordinary Rod and get my one Darmanitan line back to the deck. Evolve this Barraskewda, and I'm just gonna attack this Zacian V. Aqua Bullet, and then I'll probably put damage counter on. Let's see. Put this on Stun Fisk. It's fine. So now, Zacian V is actually within knockout range. All we need is an energy. No. Dude, ask and you shall receive. Your opponent will give it to you. Oh my god. Dude, that's so funny. So they give us a they're using a training court, so now we can just get an energy from our discard pile. They're gonna retreat their Zacian V, and they're gonna scoop up their Stunfisk. Okay, so that means they'll be able to attack with Zacian V one more time, but that's gonna be game. One good combo actually that you can use is the boss. If your opponent's active has the damage counter, obviously Barraskewda will not be able to damage the active with the targeted skewer attack. So with boss, all you have to do is boss one of their benched Pokemon and switch their active to the bench, and then you will be able to use Barraskewda and damage the active Pokemon before with the damage counter, right? So that's gonna be our game plan here. They're gonna knock out our Inteleon, but you know what? With the help of their training court Stadium, we're just gonna get an energy from the discard pile, put it on Barraskewda. We're gonna boss one of their Pokemon from the bench, switch their Zacian V to the bench, and then use targeted skewer and knock it out. So that's gonna be the game plan. We have this game in the bag, and yeah, good game to our good game to our opponent. If they didn't use that training court stadium, maybe they would have gotten another turn. But you know what? That's gonna be game. Yeah, well played. That's it. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Let's see. We get another. So yeah, see, if they didn't use that energy or that training court stadium, they could have gotten another turn. But you know what? They sealed the deal for us. Just gonna evolve this. We actually don't need to, but it's fine. Let me switch their Zacian V in the active. Quick shooting. Their Zacian V just in case. And I'm just gonna use targeted skewer to knock it out, dealing 280 damage, winning us the game. Insane. Good game. Alright, going first in this matchup. We are up against a metal type build. I have Snorlax. I'll put Darumaka in the active this time around. We have a pretty good hand here anyways. I can use Marnie. I can use Marnie on my next turn. We set up my Sable and Snorlax in the bench as well. We have Old Cemetery. That way we can attach an energy, put damage counter on Darumaka, and then we can attack on our next turn. So it's a good, you know what? Sometimes you have to take a chance. I could have put Snorlax in the active to draw more cards, but if you can attack for 130 on your first turn, if you can knock out one of their Pokemon that they put on the active as a setup Pokemon, then you can actually get easy prize that way. But they have Alessa Sparkle, which puts 2 energies on their Mew. If they have another energy, they can actually knock out my Darumaka, because Mew V can hit for 70 damage with that attack, and then but that one that will shuffle their Mew back to the deck. So I'm not sure if they're gonna attack with their Mew. So this is our second Mew VMAX battle or matchup. So let's see if we can win another Mew VMAX matchup. But yeah, Mew VMAX is very strong. So this is a good demonstration of how fast a Mew VMAX build can be. So they already have a full bench, full board, 3 Mews and 3 Genesect Vs, drawing a lot of cards each turn. And most of the time Mew VMAX builds use item cards, and they can just easily use up those item cards and just draw into a lot of cards. But they're just gonna energize their other Mew, and that's fine with me. I'll evolve into Darmanitan, and you know what, I'll hold off on that energy. I'm just gonna use Marnie for now. That will actually shuffle our opponent's hand as well. So get another Darmanitan. I get a level ball. I'll get a Drizzile so that we can use Shady Dealings. Evolving into an Inteleon is very important too. So I'll get another Sable set up here. And then I think I'll just attack. I could use the Capacious Bucket to thin out my hand. That way we can get a better card off of our top deck maybe. And I'll just attach an energy on Drizzile. That's fine. And then I'll attack this Mew V. Now it's going to be within knockout range. If they don't retreat with it, we can knock it out. If they evolve into a VMAX, all we have to do is set up our Barraskewda if we can, and then we can knock it out later on in the game. But yeah, attaching an energy on Drizzile, once we evolve it into Inteleon, we can actually attack with it. It does take 2 turns. You know, for this build, we don't have any other way to accelerate energy. So it does take 2 turns for Inteleon to be energized and to be able to attack with it. So I just decided to attach an energy onto Drizzile. But we do need to set up another Darmanitan line here because we don't have any other attackers other than if we evolve into Inteleon. So I might have to switch into Snorlax and just Gourmandize on my next turn. And yeah, try to set up as much as we can. The beauty with this matchup, why I have a little bit of confidence going against this Mew VMAX, is actually because Mew VMAX doesn't have any other way to attack our bench. That's one of the weaknesses with Mew VMAX. It's very powerful against multi-prize decks, but against single prizers, if you have a constant way of attacking with your single prize Pokemon, you know, Mew VMAX is just, it will need to attack or knock out 6 Pokemon to win the game. So again, using single prizer against Mew VMAX is actually a good matchup. You know, there's a winning aspect to this matchup. So I'll get another level ball with Drizzile, and I'm gonna start setting up another Darmanitan line, and then I'll attach an energy to it, and I think I'm gonna save the quick shooting because you know what, I'll evolve. I can start using quick shooting, and you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna go my dice here. Every time that happens to me, every time. Yeah, I keep forgetting that the special energy, the fusion strike energy, prevents special what do you call this? Prevents the abilities from taking effect on their Pokemon with the fusion strike energy on it. So the quick shooting is not going to affect either of their Mew that has the fusion strike energy. I keep forgetting that. I don't know, just very forgetful, I guess. But anyways, moving on. If they do end up evolving the other Mew V, that would be good. We can knock it out. There it is. They're gonna evolve into Mew VMAX. All we have to do is set up our Barraskewda, and we should be able to knock it out. But for now, we can actually set up this Mew VMAX as well. We have Darumaka, and we have Darmanitan to evolve it. So now we can hit it for 130 damage. We can start setting up our Arrokuda. All we need is an energy for it to knock out the one in the bench. And then what I could do here is, see, we don't have any more Sobble, so I'll just get a Darumaka and set up another Darmanitan. And I have a Evolution Incense. I'll reserve that for my Barraskewda. For now, I'm just gonna attack the active for 130 damage. So this is a very, very close match. Again, my opponent has to knock out 6 of our Pokemon, but it gives us time to kind of set up as we continue, you know, the prize exchange here. There's no prize exchange right now because, dude, we get an energy from the top deck. That's insane. All right, cool. So now with the Evolution Incense, I'll just get the Barraskewda to evolve, put an energy on it. It's gonna get knocked out in the next turn anyway, so I'll just attack their Mew on the bench, getting us 3 prizes, hitting for 260 damage, which is insane. We get Old Cemetery, another Sobble, which is good, and another Snorlax. Okay. It might take a few turns here, so if I play Sobble, they still need 3 turns to win this game, right? This Mew VMAX has 130 damage. They have a Mew V, so they can actually shuffle it back to their deck if they want to. And then we won't be able to take that 3 prize off of this Mew VMAX. So that's going to be bad if they do that. But that puts them in a awkward position too. Because if they don't have any other attackers, we could actually continue to just attack them. Power Tablet. They don't need that much damage, so probably just thinning out their hand. So if we play Sobble on the bench, They get another knockout for that. We'll need to set up another... We have Ordinary Rod. What I could do is actually get the Barraskewda line back to the deck if they knock it out, which I'm pretty sure they will. And just attack with it one more time. All we need is 3 prizes anyways. Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult to think ahead, but it is, I guess, you know, it hurts your brain sometimes to think so many moves ahead. Sometimes you forget what you need to do. I'm just gonna put Snorlax in the active. I have 2 switch anyway, and look at that, we get a Raihan from the top deck. Insane. So I'll get energy with the help of their stadium, and then replace it with ours. I'm gonna use Ordinary Rod, and hold on. Okay, we need 1 energy in the discard pile. That's why I gotta make sure. So I'll use Ordinary Rod, and I'll get the Barraskewda line back to the deck, and then just get 1 energy so that we can use Raihan. Because again, you need that basic energy in the discard pile so that you can use Raihan. I can put an energy on Darumaka, which we can use to attack this Mew VMAX. Let's see, if we switch into it though, I can use Raihan to power up one of the Inteleon line. So let me attach it to this Drizzile. And then, let's see. Okay, we still have a way to get the Barraskewda onto our hands. So with this Inteleon, I can get an Evolution Incense and a Quick Ball. And then I can throw out the Snorlax, get an Arrokuda, and then use this Evolution Incense to get a Darmanitan, and then just attack this Mew VMAX. Alright, so they have a decision to make. They can attack, and then they can shuffle this Mew VMAX back to the deck. That's one of their options. But if they don't, we could potentially win this game. What I could do is, you know what? We need a way to evolve into Barraskewda, but we also need an energy. They're gonna use boss though. They're gonna boss our Inteleon. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Do we have? No, we haven't used any boss. You know what? They're gonna retreat. We don't even need to use Barraskewda here. We can just get a boss using our Shady Dealings, and then we can knock out their Mew VMAX on the bench with Darmanitan. But you know what? We have so many options. We have an energy on the discard pile. I can also get a Raihan from the deck. So, you know what? Let me put Darmanitan in the active first. That's fine. And we get a Professor's Research, which is insane. Let's see. I'll use Shady Dealings. And then, let's see. I could get a boss or a Raihan. We have Barraskewda. I'm just gonna go for the Raihan. You know what? That's fine. Let me put an energy on this Arrokuda. Get my Barraskewda from my deck. Evolve it. And all I have to do is switch. And I'm just gonna use Targeted Skewer. Knock out their Mew VMAX. Getting our last 3 prizes. Dude, this combo is insane. I can't believe we beat 2 Mew VMAX with Darmanitan. Galarian DARMANITAN is one of the hidden gems in this set. At first glance, it might seem unusable, but in actuality, it's a really good card. Being able to attack with it for 130 damage for just 1 energy is really great. And then you pair this with Barraskewda to finish off your opponent's Pokemon with bigger HP, and also with the help of Inteleon to add additional damage counters to our opponent's Pokemon, Galarian DARMANITAN becomes a force not to be underestimated. Overall, Galarian DARMANITAN has proven itself to be a very good card. It's fast and it's very powerful in its own unique way. One thing is for sure, I really enjoyed making this build work. And that's it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this build and the gameplay. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.